Get your old tackle out, get it out, sort it out. Get your old tackle out now. Get your old tackle out, find out what it's all about. Could be worth a fortune, wow. Rods and reels, floats and creels, Grandad would be proud. So, get your old tackle out, tell you what it's all about. Get your old tackle out now.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Chris Sanford. Welcome to Get Your Old Tackle Out. It's the last episode today, I'm afraid. Well, I know, but all good things come to an end. And anyway, it's winter time now, and it's time for Ollie to go into hibernation.
No, it isn't.
What?
We don't hibernate. We just have a good kip.
Really? Well, before you nod off, you may be interested to know that actually an inquiry has come in, and it's about you. Doreen of Stoke Poges wants to know what it is you actually do.
I comment.
Yes, you certainly do. Well now, in every show, we try and bring you a little clip from our Stuff series, and today the little clip we've got you is very apt, because today we're going to be talking about values. And here's a little bit with Keith Arthur and I talking about the value of vintage fishing tackle on his sadly missed show, Tight Lines. Have a look. Up in Ludlow at Mullock's auction, beginning of November, they had a lot of things that did record prices. This was one of them. This is a bait by Gregory of Birmingham called the Windsor Bee. He had his workshops in the jewellery district of Birmingham at the turn of the century. I bought that, I'll just check, what did I buy it for? I bought it for £120 in 1995, really? And people said I was balmy.
Yeah. I always say that.
Yes, indeed. In the auction, it was estimated at £1,500 to £2,500.
Wow.
And I thought, well, it might just make that. It made, brace yourself, hold on to the table, £4,300 plus 70% commission.
Wow. And it is, it's a lovely piece, and as you said, they're made by jewellers, and the early lures were made by jewellers.
That's right.
But when you look at it, it's something that you'd keep. It's not something you'd put in a frame and stick on the wall, really. Would you do that? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I'm fascinated by his work.
Yeah.
And I'm especially fascinated now.
Well, yeah. And I mean...
You can see all the engraving.
I will keep on about it, but you look at the engraving on it, each scale... And this was all done by hand, someone with a little tool, punch, making those scales.
Exactly right.
It is a piece of jewellery.
They used to call it a jeweller's job. Yes, a jewel.
What, that little tool?
Yes, a jeweller's job, that is that bait there. Ah, yes.
Now, this looks like more like an implement of torture.
No, it is a thumb vice, sir.
So if I do that, that'll be right, won't it?
Yeah, thumb vice. It was a great boon to the tyers that used to just tie in their hands, you know? And suddenly they could put this on their thumb and the hook would stay in the jaws of the vice and they could use all their other fingers to hold the materials.
The quality of the workmanship on that is just absolutely incredible. I mean, how old is it, roughly?
It's, I've got the notes here somewhere. Where is it? Thumb vice. Yes, here we go.
1910. Wow.
1910.
So that's over 100 years old.
Yeah.
And it is just as smooth.
I know. I've only ever seen 3 others. No, really? 2 others, because that one's mine.
And what would that be worth?
Well, it was reserved...
It's worth what somebody will pay for it.
Of course. It was reserved in Mullock's auction at £800 to £1,000. And I thought, well, I don't think it'll make that. I bought it... What did I pay for mine? £75 in 2003. And I thought, well, I don't think... It might make £400 or £500. It made £800. Wow. £800.
Do you still buy bits and pieces now?
I do, but I can't afford
Are you more of an admirer of what you've got?
Well, some and some, really. I do like all my stuff, of course, but I buy the odd thing, but I can't buy any more lures because hidden away in America, New Zealand and Australia are 3 millionaires who are buying all the lures you ever come into auction.
The old lures.
And that's why the price has gone sky high.
Yeah, somebody really wants them. But you obviously go to the auctions. I know that the Chiswick one is very famous, and Mullock's, you mentioned another one very famous. Yeah. But do you ever... People come up to me and say, here, mate, you like old gear, I've got something. Is this any good? Because you will know, I refer people to you quite regularly for estimates or people want to get rid of something. And you're always a good source, you and Neil at Chiswick, always a good source of information.
I've sort of shot myself in the foot, really, because I did the book, The Best of British Baits, and people go, I've looked this up in your book, and then I've looked online, and I believe it's worth £7,000. You go, oh, yeah.
But you've got a phenomenal collection.
Thank you,
really,
yes.
Well, you have it. I mean, I've been and seen it. It's an amazing Yeah.
Thank you. I don't have room to display all of it anymore, and these very valuable things, of course, we have to keep in the bank because the insurance companies go, no.
That's a shame, isn't it?
It is.
It is a shame.
There you are. I got this one out for you.
Yeah, it's very kind of you. Thank
But
you
it's
very much.
mine, you understand. Keith Arthur, what a great presenter. Come along, you TV companies. It's high time we had a new show. Anyone who collects vintage fishing tackle will be familiar with Neil Freeman and his company Angling Auctions. He has recently moved his business from Chiswick in London down to Romsey in Hampshire, and I went down the other day to his latest auction. It's a great venue, very light, very airy, plenty of car parking, wonderful tea and coffee, and some of the best fruitcake I've ever tasted. Okay, I made some notes. I brought you 4 items from the auction. There was a 600 lot auction, so I can't bring them all. I thought you'd be interested in these. Now, let's start with lot 150. It was a very rare Ustenson brass multiplying wide drum winch with a faceplate engraved Ustenson Maker Temple Bar, London, circa 1840. And any item of tackle with his name is certainly going to demand a large premium. It was estimated, this reel, at 2,500 to 4,500. Bidding moved very quickly towards the lower figure, then it faltered. It eventually sold for £2,500 plus 15% commission. Bit of a bargain, really. Now then, if somebody read you this description, what would you think they'd be talking about? 6 concertina slotted brass arms mounted on central spindle with tail locking nut, wasted crank winding arm with wasted ebonite winding knob, G-clamp brass table fitting with thumb locking screw, circa 1907. Well, this is what they were talking about. Have a look. It was FM Halford's famous sextile line dryer. It came in its original box with pasted instructions, but also it had perfect provenance, proving it actually belonged to the great man himself. So there you have it. Estimated at £800 to £1,200, it finally managed to sell for £900, which I thought really for something with that kind of provenance was quite low. So there you go. Next, yes, this was the star of the show. A solid silver Munro reel. It was made in Glasgow by David Munro around 1850. Just over 2 inches in diameter, as you can see, absolutely beautiful engraving, and the engraving was on both sides. Now then, the money. Estimated at £8,000 to £12,000. Okay. Bidding was pretty fast and furious, up to 12,000. Then it petered off, and it eventually got a huge round of applause when a collector bid £14,000. I'll pause for effect there. Okay, £14,000. If you add the commission to that, it is £16,100. Awful lot to pay for a fishing reel, but hey, as we say in the trade, find me another one. Finally, a beautiful little trout, carved trout. The little brass plaque on it read, "Rainbow trout caught on natural worm bait by C.T. Grenville, River Itchin, weight 1 pound, July 1920. It was the prettiest little thing. It was only 16.5 inches wide, a beautiful little carving, estimated at 1,000 to 1,500. It made 1,500, the top bid. It was a bargain, I thought. It was a really nice little fish. If you'd like more info, go to www.angling-auctions.com. Oh, he's dropped off, fast asleep. Listen, we're going to be doing a new show, but we don't quite know when. So keep watching the website and we'll let you know, okay? We'll see you next time. Bye.
Sort it out, get your old tackle out now. Get your old tackle out, find out what it's all about. Could be worth a fortune, wow. Rods and reels, floats and creels, Grandad would be proud. So, get your old tackle out, tell you what it's all about. Get your old tackle out now.
Yeah.